is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with your ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Alrighty, here we go. Welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. Have a Thursday weekend downloading now. Oh yeah, baby. With the football kicking off tonight, the NFL season begins.
My husband was so excited to get into football tonight, but instead he's going to see Hamilton at the movie theater with us.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I feel bad, but Rocco's so excited.
Now, is this the movie of the play? Is that
yes,
what it is?
It's the movie of the play on the big screen. So Rocco's never seen the Broadway musical in person yet. So, but he loves it. He's watched it like on Disney Plus.
Yeah, right. Is it the same thing that they're going to be showing that is on Disney Plus? Is just what you're going to be seeing on the screen?
No, I think they've added to it. I think there's something. There's like more stuff and different stuff.
Okay, so it's radically different, or it's just the same with something added?
I think it's the same musical still, but with more stuff added.
It'll have Lin-Manuel Miranda in it and the rest of the crew, the rest of the cast?
Yeah. I think the OGs.
Okay, so the stuff you see on Disney Plus, but maybe some added features to get people to come to the theater to watch it.
Exactly.
Okay.
You don't have a lot of confidence in your voice.
I'm doing this for Rocco.
I got you. Okay.
I think he knows more than I do about it.
Okay.
Either way, we'll get answers tomorrow.
Yes, I think.
And one question in the chat room is, why does Panda have to go? What a saint he is.
He has to go because we're doing things as a family, and he wants to go. He would just like also to watch the opening night of football, but you know, you can't do two things at once.
Panda and Rocco are big old fans of each other too.
Yes.
So I think there's that as well.
They are boys and they love each other's company. So Panda's just happy to be doing this for Rocco because he really thinks Rocco might stand up on his seat in the theater and sing along and just like Rocco loves Hamilton.
Now, you've got tonight's game, which is going to be on NBC/Peacock, so I think you'll be able to get that for everyone. I had seen that the game tomorrow, which is going to be a good game, the Chiefs-Chargers, that's both of those teams likely going to be playoff teams. And I saw it was on YouTube, and I was like, okay, what does that mean? Because I know now they got an NFL package on YouTube. I'm reminded of it. So are there going to be NFL games I'm not going to be able to watch? And how much? Now, I'm hearing Jeff had said the Sunday ticket on YouTube is about $385 or so, and it's separate from YouTube TV. You won't watch any of it without it, is what he wrote verbatim. But I just got a text, too. Somebody said Friday's YouTube game is free for everyone. And Kathy and Stewart, she also seconded that. So I assume you're going to be able to see that for free. But I don't know which games on the NFL will be ones you have to pay for and which ones you'll be able to see live. So they've just made it more confusing, which, you know, honestly is it's one of my little gripes about the NFL. For the most part, all the college games are broadcast.
Right.
If you've got a significant game, they had some amazing games in college last weekend. Every single one of the main games was on a broadcast network that you could easily watch.
That's how it should be.
I like that better, and that's one of my turn-offs from the NFL, but that's why I liked the NFL Red Zone channel, which ESPN's now involved with, which is now going to start running commercials, which I'm not as jazzed about.
Like you don't love commercials?
Yeah, and
You'll still get your football though, right? I mean, they're not going to.
You will, and I think what they're doing is they are going to have a screen, so it will take over, and you'll see the ad, probably hear that audio, and you'll still be able to watch the Red Zone going on. But knowing my luck, the team that I'm wanting to watch, I'm sure every time they score is going to be when they're in commercial and you can't hear any of the. You'd be like, I think they're scoring. I don't know. It's such a small box there, but
the box is like 1 inch by 1 inch.
Yeah,
you're squinting.
You just be like, I think that's my team. I think they're scoring.
And you only have one good eye.
Yeah,
you can barely see.
Right. So I don't like that as much, but you know, I get it. It's a business. They're probably trying to force a lot of people to buy those packages, whatever they might be. But it used to be where you get the DirecTV package or whatever it would be, and then you get all the NFL games. But now the DirecTV is not in the game. Okay, who's got what? Because it feels like YouTube's gotten some of them, and Now they're going to be on other networks, and so I don't know
either.
It's so damn
a lot.
confusing. Yeah, and I think that with all the streaming that's out there's a lot of people confused. Somebody said, look, there is a Colombian game tonight. I assume they're talking about football.
Football, Jay Bird. Colombia, your team.
Well, I should have every fucking stream because
Can this guy come to your house?
I think I've got every stream possible.
They said they're still trying to figure out where to see it, so I could see that being confusing.
Jay Bird has Colombian cable, so go to his house.
It was
awesome.
It was one of those things where the soccer game said it was on a network, but we had it on the network and it was not playing the game. And then we're reading other things. It's on this app, so we buy that app, and it wasn't on that app. I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta buy another. 3 apps later, I'm like, go Colombia.
Did he cancel any of them? So like we said, Jay Bird currently has Colombian cable. If you want to see any kind of Colombia programming, go to his house.
Sounds great. I'd love to watch it.
Do you ever have that though, where it says something on something and it's nowhere to be in sight, and that it makes you feel like you're losing your mind?
Yes. When I went to go watch that episode of Bar Rescue that I was on, they were like, oh, it's only on Paramount Plus, and you got to buy Paramount Plus to have it. So I was all ready to buy Paramount Plus, and then I looked, and I'm like, okay, it's on regular Paramount, and I have that on one of the other channel things I had, so I did not have to buy Paramount Plus, but I almost did.
Well, guess what? If you would have bought it, you would have to have done. Shut it
down! We're shutting it down, Kevin.
Yeah, it really has become very confusing for a lot of people.
It is. They do that on purpose because they know they'll get us.
Yep.
Look over here. Look over there.
You'll buy it.
Give me your money.
You'll forget to cancel it.
Because who likes canceling shit? It's so annoying, and they make it such a process where you're going to either wait on a phone or talk to a robot, and who's ever on the phone's going to disconnect with you at least once.
And your cancellation that you take, it doesn't take effect until next month. So you still have to pay for this month. But, okay, we'll cancel you in November.
They're just like, they love to take their dick and slap it right in your face.
You signed up for this. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah. That's pretty much it. It's pretty crazy. Got a screenshot here to help anybody out who wants to get their YouTube kids appropriate for content. Producer Denny's talked about the struggle that he had with it with his 2+-year-old son Lachlan, and they're watching a dad dressed as a zombie chasing his kid around, freaking his kid out, which is also freaking Lachlan out. He said, this is not what I signed up for. I want to watch Miss Rachel.
Lachlan was hiding underneath a table.
So terrified.
That's horrible.
I'm sure he had zombie nightmares.
You have to. I think the first time you see a zombie as a kid, you have to have a zombie nightmare.
The zombie sticks.
Yes, it does. So basically what Ashley had sent is you can go in and change your preferences. You go in and you unlock the settings. You enter your parent passcode, you select the child's profile, and then you can edit the content settings, put it for like preschool, which would be recommended for kids 4 and under, or younger, which is 5 to 8. So maybe that would relieve some of the issues that you're having before completely giving up on YouTube Kids and see what it does. But there is a way at least to alter the preferences and what videos will come up next, which I don't understand why it just wouldn't. If you had it on Miss Rachel, why wouldn't it just keep spinning through those episodes,
right?
One after another. Why would you even deviate from that? So maybe that's part of their strategy, though, is to try to introduce you to other creators on the platform so you find something else you like and it's more reason to come back.
Do the Muppets ever get too crass? They keep it pretty clean, don't they?
Yeah, they keep it totally G, right?
I've never seen anything on the Muppets that you'd be like, oh, I don't know, it's questionable.
Like Fozzie Bear's like, oh, eat me. There's nothing like that.
No.
Okay.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
All right, so Muppets good.
Muppets good. Eat Me, that's like The Simpsons, Family Guy.
Because there is that level of where it could kind of come off sort of family-ish, and then there will be like a line like, yeah, eat this. You're like, what? Out of the blue.
There are some times where you'll watch a cartoon, I think like Minions and things like that. Shrek, I know definitely did, where you'd be like, oh, okay, all right. Kids understood that. That's slightly racy, but That's on a different context.
Yeah.
That's more for the older kids.
Yeah, that preteen, probably 12 to 14 era. Is that kind of where you would start letting your kids watch a little bit more edgier stuff?
I mean, Rocco watches Family Guy. That's pretty...
Not applying to you, huh?
I mean, Family Guy is raunchy.
It can be.
It is. Mm-hmm. It's on a lot in my house, and I'm always like, ooh, babe, should he be watching this? But then I'm busy.
Yeah.
And once you let the rabbit out of the hat, what are you going to do? Put him back in?
What about horror movies? Let's say your 14-year-old kid, if Cannon was 14 and said, Dad, I really want to see Texas Chainsaw Massacre, do you let him, or you're like, no, dog, you're too young?
Yeah, 14. I mean, if he's okay with that, I think it's certain people are affected more by horror than others. Like at my age, I'm too soft for horror. So.
Me too. Rocco would not survive Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He would not be able to go on living.
Well, it's an unsettling movie, even for someone like myself who loves horror movies. There's parts you're like, oh, God. Yeah, that's weird. But yeah, I always just wondered, for horror movies like your Friday the 13th, when would you let your kid watch them and not have parent guilt?
I know my kids, Magnolia, even at the age of 20, could not handle that movie.
You guys, there was one movie you guys couldn't even, was it Casper or some shit?
I tried to put on Goonies. I tried to put on
funny.
Gremlins. Yeah. I tried to put on multiple things for my kids, and they couldn't handle Goonies and Gremlins.
What, did the Fratellis scare them?
Yes.
Yeah.
They
Terrifying.
did not like the Fratellis. They were having none of it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Very intimidating. And AI engineer Keith has answered your question here, Jay Bird. You were talking about hurricane force windows and doors and what would happen if you had a perpetrator outside that was trying to get in. Do you not sweat it knowing that you have these hurricane windows? Now, to break it down, here are some of the standards that you have. Brute force, like the axe attack that you're talking about. If they're trying to come through that thing with an axe, it says here, hurricane windows are an excellent defense against blunt force. Now, a standard hurricane window must be able to withstand a 9-pound 2x4 wooden missile that's traveling 34 miles per hour in testing to get that accreditation. A professional using an axe and other tools would still take 1 to 3 minutes to breach a window like this, and that is a professional. A typical intruder would take significantly longer.
Oh, so you could tell the intruder, hey, eat me, buddy, you're not getting through yet, and then you could run.
Right.
Yes.
You gotta run, then he'll get you when you're outside.
Because it would be satisfying if someone's trying to break in and they couldn't get in, and you could talk a little shit back, but you just gotta make sure you get the fuck out of there.
That's it. Basically,
he doesn't see you. When he sees you going for the front door, he'll just run around the house and meet you.
Yeah, I know, with my bum ass hip. He's like, thanks for making it easy, dipshit.
I didn't even think to use the front door. Thanks.
And really the whole message here is they're a deterrent, a delay mechanism, which then gives you time and some comfort. But yeah, if somebody's really trying to get into your house, eventually with an axe they will. With a handgun, it's going to be even quicker. If they have a full metal jacket type of bullet or a hollow point, that can defeat a hurricane window. A single round from a handgun will create a significant breach to gain entry, regardless of the type of bullet used.
Okay, so don't taunt the guy with the gun saying...
If he's got a gun and an axe, do not taunt him.
Don't grab your balls and go, eat me, buddy.
Right.
you better get out of there.
Eat me, just like Fozzie Bear said.
But you're right, though. I don't want to... Do you run to the front, or do you... Because you're right. What if he goes to the front at that point? Or do you stay indoors and you fight that shit out?
Draw the blinds and then run to the front so he can't see you.
That'd be the better play, yeah.
If he can see you run to the front, all he has to do is run around the side of the house, and now you've let him in the front door.
So basically what we've learned, if there's a gun, you're shit out of luck, buddy.
It's a deterrent. It'll take a little bit of time to still get through. They could probably... Now, the window, I would imagine, might change the course of the bullet. So it wouldn't be necessarily a clean shot right through the glass. But yeah, I wouldn't taunt somebody with a gun. I'd still lay low. And it would take them a little bit of extra time. It's better to have than just a regular window. But they'll still get to you if they want to get to you.
But you see what I'm saying, though? Someone's trying to get in. It's kind of like when someone punches you, but they miss you. And you laugh in their face. Like, you want to laugh at them.
Yeah, the one thing that you got to watch for is some of the ding-dong ditching stuff that is going on. You had that story in Texas. There was a guy there. He was just looking for somebody to shoot, and that one kid came up and did a little ding-dong ditch, and the guy came out and just started firing off. And
he chased the kid down and shot him. Like, that is going to be murder.
Out of line.
Dude.
You've had the ones where people have kicked in the front door, which is much more intense than Ding Dong Ditch. And there have been people firing a gun through that. And that I can see. That's where ringing a doorbell is a lot different than you've kicked in someone's front door. At that point, expect bullets to come flying out.
If you kick down my door, I'm assuming you're there to murder me. That's such a huge move to do to somebody.
Yes, that's murder on deck.
Expect whatever the fuck comes at you at that point.
Right.
Yeah. And I saw a video today that was on social media of some little kids ding-dong ditching at Travis Kelce's Boca Raton home. I don't think he's home right now. It's a lot of fun probably to say you did. I wouldn't imagine Travis Kelce come out blasting.
No, probably not.
Probably not.
But
yeah, still,
it's just not smart.
Well, it's just a game that, because I think it was a parent that was filming, like, it was fun. I think maybe we might be in an era right now of, let's not encourage the ding dong ditching because you just don't know what you're going to get.
You don't.
Now, this guy, he's in Texas. They love their guns. He had 20 plus firearms, they said. So you ding dong the wrong door and, that's what you're going to get. So not worth taking the chance. Find a new way to terrorize the neighborhood.
He probably thought he was going to get away with it too because they ding dong ditched and started it. But if you chase somebody and you shoot them in the back when they're running away, that's not stand your ground.
Not at all. And this guy is going to face murder charges just like he blasted the kid on the street, and he should.
There was even a case where these kids I think they were teenagers or young adults, and they broke into this guy's house. The guy had a gun and had them all pretty much, captured. And all he had to do was call the cops, but he ended up shooting them when they were already kind of subdued. And the whole thing was recorded on a device he had no idea that was being recorded.
Like an Amazon.
Something that, and you could hear the entire case break down, and he's the one that went to prison.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, a big story making headlines nationally today is about the state of Florida that is not going to have vaccine mandates any longer. So it is up to the parent to choose if their kid is going to get a vaccine and how many. And as we did a poll on that today, I think it was 70 or 80% is not down with what the state of Florida is doing. Ashley had said, too, no vaccine is going to be 100%, but there are around 90 to 95% protective, and we rely on herd immunity, everybody being vaccinated to cover what those very important vaccines do not cover. And they say that's going to be the biggest change is when everybody is vaccinated to a certain percentage, then you can count on herd immunity. And as somebody brought up, too, that there are some kids that just can't get vaccines because they have medical issues already, but they
compromised immune systems.
They rely on the herd immunity. So those are the kids that are going to be affected for some of these things. So
it's scary.
I imagine there'll be a lot more conversations with it. Some parents on the other side had talked about when I was a kid, I was required to get maybe 2 or 3 vaccines. And they said, now, if you look at it, the list has grown and there's a lot more vaccines you're putting into your kids. And they had said, we got our kids vaccinated, but we staggered it a lot more than what they say. Well, I'll just do it all in one fair shot. We just didn't want maybe heavy metals or whatever it might be that's in some of those vaccines to go into the kid's body all at one time.
I did that, and it was really annoying. I could tell that, my pediatrician was like, okay, we only did 1 per visit.
Yeah, and look, as a
1 per
parent,
visit.
I get it because you're like, the kid's going to hate it, and every time you take the kids freak out, and they get anxiety about, they know they're going to get a shot, and so you got to deal with that, and I can see why you'd be like, let's just do this all at once.
Right. It's tedious.
Yeah.
But I was also paranoid. I was like, okay, well, if Magnolia has some adverse reaction to this, whatever this vaccine is. I want to know which one she had an adverse reaction to. So that way maybe we can do something to help her.
Right.
I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah. So, there'll be a lot of comments on that. And I guess if it sticks and it stays the way it is, I guess in some years we'll decide if it's the right decision or not.
I remember two things about my childhood doctor. One, he had the best lollipops ever. They were amazing. And secondly, I had a bunch of people send me messages. They remember getting a circle shot in their arm like I do. Now, it's probably something different than what you guys are talking about, but there was this circle type of shot I remember getting as a kid, and it hurt like a son of a bitch. And other people said, yeah, Bert, I remember getting that as well. Now,
maybe that one didn't leave that circle scar?
Maybe it didn't leave the scar, but it that mental scar.
Because our parents have that circle scar one, whatever that one was.
They have smallpox.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think mine was smallpox. Smallpox.
Oh, they got a shot for that? Does it give it to you or does it prevent it?
I think in my case, it gave it to me.
Oh, damn.
Let me tell you, lady, I was hung and then I got a shot. It just shriveled right up.
It was a circle shot. I don't know what the hell
Immediately.
it was.
It's crazy. Yeah, so I don't know specifically what that was. If anybody does, you can let us know on that shot. Yeah, somebody's saying it was smallpox.
Smallpox, yeah, but I don't think I didn't get smallpox.
No,
You're younger than me, so how did you get smallpox?
I'm looking in the chat room right now. People are saying, Bert, I remember that. So I'm not completely that fucking crazy.
Yeah, my mom had it. I remember specifically, but yeah, I never did. So I assume it's just because it got eradicated to a certain point. They didn't think it was necessary.
I just remember it hurting like a son of a biscuit.
Maybe they still had the smallpox in Lake Park.
I mean, that would not doubt. I would be shocked.
Lake Park pox.
Yeah, we had park pox.
Yeah. So, yeah, that'll be interesting to see. But there is a lot of commentary on that. And Big Prince of Peace said, yeah, listen to professionals, not politicians. And, yeah, when it comes to your health, I think that's where you should get your advice from. We were talking about the comedian Drewski's little stunt that he had done. Masterful makeup job. Now, he is black, does a lot of skits, does a lot of stuff with athletes as well. And the makeup job was unreal because he went to a NASCAR race as a white dude with a mullet, went all redneck. But what was amazing, it wasn't just his face. It was his whole upper body because he had on suspenders and they were half undone. But you could see his whole chest with tattoos. He even did the sunburn, the redneck sunburn. I mean, it really was amazing whoever did his makeup.
Movie quality makeup.
Yeah. And so he was just, he had the accent going on. He's smoking ciggies. He had some trashy white lady sitting on his lap. He was talking to Meemon or Moo Moo and, drinking beer and doing all kinds of stuff. And then he was, I think where some people are like, well, it was racial because he was kind of giving some black guys who were there at the NASCAR thing a hard time, kind of spitting in their general direction and, kind of doing that. And so, people commented on the makeup. They also commented on it. And, one of the things that come out was, of course, people are like going, so is it okay to do blackface? Now, I assume that's back in. And so that's the thing when they see somebody, because the thing I've found out is in a society, people typically don't like one set of rules for one group of people, and it's ridiculously different for the others. And I think that's where you're always going to get pushback, is when there's two sets of rules or two sets of standards for people in the same society. And Jerry had said, yeah, the blackface is built off a history of racism of white people playing black people in their shows and degrading and dehumanizing them. That should never be okay. Very different from what Drewski did. And if you don't know, the minstrel shows were popular in America from their height was 1850 to 1870. So that was 150 years ago. And so some people will be like, okay, well, nobody here that's going to be doing that was alive during then. And so, if you did it in the exact same context of how Drewski did, can I still not do it? And like I said, I wouldn't do it. And I think a lot of people would give you hell if you did for that reason. But it does bring up that discussion. So, if you're going to be a comedian, you're going to try to do it, then we'll see what people say. I imagine there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be very not down with you doing that.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready for that kind of heat. I just want to be peaceful.
Yeah. Another comment here from Scott. said it was 2012-ish. I dressed up for Halloween as Clayton Bigsby. If you don't know Chappelle's show, then it can become bad. But if you know, you know. Yeah, Clayton Bigsby, a brilliant skit that Chappelle had done where he was a blind black guy that didn't realize he was black and he was a racist and in the Klan. You remember that skit that he had done?
I do kind of remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, he did some brilliant racial comedy.
Yeah, he did.
That was pretty interesting and thought-provoking.
I mean, his comedy usually is brilliant and thought-provoking.
It is.
Doesn't matter what the topic is.
Well, and it's great because it does. I think a lot of times that's why, to me, I think it's rough to put boundaries on comedians because I think when it's done well, sometimes it should make you a little uncomfortable. It should make you think. And I think that's sometimes why you're laughing is you're a little bit uncomfortable. Be like, okay, wow, I could never say this stuff.
You're processing it.
Well, sometimes you never know what's going to be funny ever. You never know. You attempt to, but I mean, you don't know if people are going to find it funny until you actually do it.
Right.
It's a risk. And look, there are times it does not hit.
Right, and that's it. That's why, look, I don't have the nards to do anything like that. I admire some of these guys that do because, yeah, with it, there's going to be some people that are going to find it brilliant, but then you're going to have probably half of the audience are going to be like, that's out of line, that's not cool, and then you'll get everybody yelling, and you just got to be ready for that when you put it out there. This is what you expect. And, look, there are a lot of influencers. I'm sure Drewski, he knew that he gets some heat. But, look, it's got people talking, and it's probably a pretty brilliant skit for him. He's going to break into the mainstream more than he ever had.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's an eye-catching photo. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. And I think there are some people, I do see that as some of these skits are coming back where people welcome it. They felt like we got a little too safe and people are getting too butthurt and that there was too many parameters being put on comedy to try to spare people's feelings. And, I would just say, hey, look, if you seek that stuff out, you watch it. And if you're very sensitive to things like that, don't watch it. And I think people seem to like more freedom than less.
Yes.
I think we're finding that when it comes to some of the people with the vaccine, some of the people with their comedy and all that. It's like, I'm an adult. Let me make my own damn choices. It may not be for you, but it doesn't mean you got to keep it from me.
Right.
It's funny because there's kind of like a civil war going on between comedy circles from East Coast to West Coast to, Joe Rogan being in Texas. And they're all... There's this thing called the Rogan sphere or the Rogan bump, where if you are on Joe Rogan, this is a theory that's out there. If you were on Rogan's show, you would get an automatic bump and all these fans. You might not be the funniest person,
right, yeah.
but you would get all these opportunities and almost kind of trick the world. And you're this brilliant comedian,
right?
And it's known as the Rogan sphere or Rogan bump. And people are turning on Austin where he's at, and LA. He's turning on Austin. It's kind of like they're all bitching and moaning at each other. I thought you comedians, right? You guys are bitching.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's funny. That's the way that that's how I discover most of my new podcasts is I see somebody on another podcast, and that's just the brilliant way to grow podcasts. So I think that's for any platform, not even just Joe Rogan. But yeah, there have been people that I've seen on his show that I was introduced to them. I'm like, oh, let me check out their own podcast.
And there's a growing genre of comedy hate podcasts that are going after all comedians and saying why they're not funny, and their numbers are at some point getting bigger than the comedian numbers, which is kind of it's a weird thing. And you'll hear the comedians say, fuck those guys making videos about me. And then those guys will go back, well, you're a comedian. Why are you allowed to make fun of people? But as soon as someone makes fun of you, you're not. It's a big thing going on.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's just kind of a standard fare.
Drama.
Yeah.
Humans.
Good for numbers.
Yeah, it really is. Chrissy. She has got a question here. She said, since I don't know too many people in my personal life that watch Big Brother, I figured I'd ask Jaybird and Virginia because I hear them mentioning the show. Do you guys still watch Big Brother? Because I just jumped on the train the past few seasons, and this season I have noticed that they are all a bunch of pussies.
That's exactly why I stopped watching Big Brother, because they were getting to the point where you go, well, you lied. So you don't deserve the money. Well, Big Brother was all about lying, conniving, and setting up I mean, there's all kind of different strategies, but if you were using lying to get to a certain point and you won, it was considered good strategy.
Skilled.
All of a sudden, everyone became into such whiny pussies. I couldn't stand it, and I'm a whiny pussy. I'm like, I can't watch this shit.
It used to be where you were rewarded for being able to juggle multiple alliances and not be found out.
Or stab somebody in the back like a bad guy wrestler. But then all of a sudden that became such a bad thing to do.
You lied.
It got fucking stupid for me.
It got really stupid.
It got political. It got dumb. It sucked.
Well,
it wasn't fun anymore.
Yeah, she said, when did people cry so much after other people got voted out? It's not like they're dead. Please let me know if this is something new or it's always been like this. You know, probably a lot of them are aspiring actors. They want to have attention, and they're being overly dramatic. And I'm sure that the producers are egging them on.
They're in their bitch ass feelings.
You're like, why would you care this much? This show means nothing. Like this is just for fun and entertainment.
Big Brother should be called Bitch Ass Feelings.
Bitch
now.
Ass Feelings.
Oh, back in the day when they had Dr. Evil Will. I mean, amazing.
It was manipulative. It was strategy.
Well, sometimes
it was cunning.
You got to stab somebody in the back to get to that next level. And you're like, oh, shit. I thought they were going to the final 3 together. It was entertaining. No, that was too much like watching, my family cry. It was terrible. I fucking hated it.
And you're talking about some of the documentaries on the influencers that are out there. And Rooster had said, yeah, you're all talking about the influencers behind the scenes. You should definitely watch Bad Influence, The Dark Side of Kid-Fluencing on Netflix. I knew nothing is as perfect behind the scenes, but this documentary is eye-opening. So crazy what this mom had the kids doing, making fake romantic relationships. She even got drunk and kissed a 17-year-old on a live stream.
Oh, my gosh.
Definitely worth the watch, but it will give you a weird feeling in your stomach while watching some of it.
The mom got drunk and kissed a 17-year-old?
Yeah, there's some content I don't like when I get a weird feeling in my stomach.
Isn't that a crime in some states?
Yes.
It definitely should be. Yeah, it is. A lot of this stuff goes way, way too far. It's pretty crazy. Honestly, to me, it's unreal. Some of these people that are so willing to throw their lives away.
Well, they don't think they're throwing their lives away. They think they're getting popularity and money, and then they realize, oh shit, I just threw my life away. Fuck.
Yeah.
Whoopsie.
Oops.
Yeah, maybe I wasn't the best idea.
Well, because that's the crazy thing about, especially social media influencers or internet fame. It can look what it did to Hawk Tua.
Yeah.
I mean, one night you're out and you say one crazy thing, and all of a sudden you're given a podcast and coins and talk to a show, and I mean, holy shit.
I think Panda was listening to something yesterday with the Hawk Tua girl. She was on somebody else's podcast, and she's not going away quietly. She's still trying to fight.
She is, but it's not.
She's swinging.
I'm telling you what, there's been a lot of misses.
There's just not a lot there. And I think, she gave you the best she had. Hawk Tua, the whole thing, that was the funniest thing she's ever going to say. So it's only downhill from there.
And maybe you're not supposed to get, I don't know if it's the most natural thing to get such fame so quickly in such a small amount of time. That's
from saying one line.
That's such an over the top thing to, kind of go through. There's no way it's not going to fucking blow up in your face.
Mm-hmm. Jen from Wellington, she said, I didn't know much about the Chrisley family, but since they're pardoned by Trump, I listened to their new podcast and wanted to hate on them. But I think Todd has a huge ego, but they were innocent with proof. They were actually given money back for the taxes. I was shocked at how many people he has had fired and exposed so much corruption in the prison. I will not hate on them. His new mission is to fight for inmates and get rid of those not doing their job. It's a pretty interesting first few episodes, Chrisley 2.0. And I know that there's something surfacing where somebody had asked his wife, be like, your husband's gay, right?
She said, and I quote, I I know what I married.
Which doesn't really answer
It
because
does not answer it.
I guess there is a supposed male affair that he had with another dude that came out and said, yeah, I was banging him for a long time.
It was like someone who was working either for him or beneath him or both. But yeah, he was definitely hooking up with a male helper.
Well, as Kevin said, banging.
He was banging him.
He was loving it.
I think the wife doesn't care.
Yeah.
I don't think she cares. I think she said, I know what I married, and maybe she's just...
Yeah, that's not a great way
She's in on it.
I mean, I guess if he is gay, that's a great way to put it, because I know what I married. But if he's not, that's a terrible way to answer that question.
Or maybe he's bi.
To just say, I know what I married, I mean, you're completely leaving the door open to be like, okay, you knew that he was gay when you married him, and you went about it anyway. So what, did you use IVF to have your 2 biological children?
No, I mean, they could still...
He could be bi.
Yeah, I mean...
Or he could be a gay man now and was confused when they got married.
Okay.
And was like, oh, let me try this out. And nope, I like D.
Okay. Well, there you go.
We know people that did that. Mm-hmm. Tried to get married to a woman and tried to make that work. And
yeah, gay guys have told me, don't knock it till you try it. I just haven't gotten there yet. One day, maybe I go, I'm so glad I did.
Never say never, Kevin. They're always
right.
hoping that you'll make that turn.
I always do kind of keep my options open. So you just never know. You never know in this crazy world. Karen said, Kevin, did you ever disclose who put your keys in Denny's room the other day? No, I did not. I didn't go back to that because they were not a show member. I didn't want to put anybody on blast.
Do they know?
I don't know if they know, and I wouldn't want them to feel bad because, look, it was crisis averted. There was no issue. For a second, when it all clicked, I'm like, motherfucker. But, I mean, by the time I got to the stairwell, I'm like, oh, well, no problems done.
They were trying to be sweet.
They were. And so I would not put them on blast because they were doing great stuff. And it was just, it got, like I said, I've got
comedy of errors.
I've got an area here, and I'm one of those people where everything has a place to it. And this is really the story of my life. Everybody knows, like in my house, when I get ready in the morning, because everything's dark, I know exactly where everything is. So by feel,
don't
and
move
by
daddy's
steps,
stuff.
I know it's a step and a half. I put my hand forward this far, and that's going to be there. And it is. And I go 2 steps back. I put my hand out. That's there. That's how I live my life, like a blind man. So when somebody moves my cheese, I'm like, I know it's supposed to be there. When it's not where it's supposed to be, that's when I'm like, oh my gosh, here we go.
Much like any kind of like a tech issue where you're under the gun and have to get something done and there's a technical problem, tell me there's nothing worse than anger that comes out where you're in a hurry and you cannot find your key. It brings out some type of beast.
Well, you just look for what we do when you're on a time constraint and shit has to be done and it's got to be done on a timely thing. Any little hiccup whatsoever that throws you off, yes, it just adds to the frustration because you know how much shit you're going to get and no one's going to care. They're going to be like, why are you late? Why is this? You know, they'll be like, yeah, I know. So,
I mean, misplacing of keys with no sleep, it sounds like a madman lives at my house.
That's why I can't have misplaced keys or anything. Everything has to have its place. And then when somebody invades your space, like, oh, you know, I'm just going to move it over here. I'm going to throw it behind the couch for whatever reason. I don't know. That's when you go crazy. Got a update here from Andrew about the Bigfoot emoji.
Oh, nice.
He said it has been 4 years in the works, but yeah, we'd heard we given him the idea. He's created the emoji. It has been approved. It's going to be coming, and September 9th.
4 years in the works.
The emoji will officially be released. He said, however, it doesn't mean it will be ready for use on Apple and Android, as those individual platforms typically take the new emojis and then they create stylized versions of their own. So this could be as soon as this month or be as long as next spring. But regardless, if you're open to it, I have a slot to fill. I'd love to hop on to commemorate it and talk about it. Yeah, I mean, whenever it's available, we'll definitely do something and show your artwork and put it out on social media and make this a whole thing. So absolutely, Andrew.
We admire the tenacity. I tell you what, not giving up.
Yep. That's a very cool thing you did there. And Michelle, you were asking about seeing cardinals, and a lot of people recommended just getting a bird feeder, putting the kind of feed that cardinals like. That's what she does. She has an endless supply of cardinals coming to her backyard now.
I get a ton of messages. People saying, "Bird, cardinals are everywhere." I see so many blue jays.
People are mad. They're like, duh. We see cardinals everywhere. Y'all are stupid.
Yeah, like, look, guess, Bird, you haven't seen a BND, barnacles nose duck anywhere? I'm like, they're everywhere. I'm like, oh, shit, all right, I guess cardinals are everywhere.
Okay, what's the special food for cardinals then? That's what you need to get.
I love
Special
that.
cardinal food. Do they like BLTs? What do they want?
This bird does.
That's it. So, yeah, it's probably
That's a
about
good
what
idea.
is going on in your area. So, if you're in an area that's got more cardinals, I guess you're blessed. So, congratulations. All right, well, a lot of good information again. Appreciate y'all for sending in those emails and text messages. You can do it on the WRMF app. You can send us an email, mail@kvjshow.com, or you can text it in 877-979-WRMF. All excited because tomorrow the weekend, Friday, bitches.
Woohoo!
We'll see you here for it. Goodbye.